record, so I actually don't forget, because once I start talking, I always forget to press record because I always get way too excited. So tonight's team call, our call schedule got crazy. If you guys didn't see, I posted an updated August calendar, and the only thing different on that calendar was that we had team calls at different times. So they had first been put on Monday, and then one of our guest speakers' timing got messed up. So we have the call tonight. We actually have a team call next week, and then another team call the following week. So we've got like 3 weeks in a row, and then a week off. Normally we do every other week. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just like cancel this call, because a lot of our calls are team calls. The nighttime team calls are more like training calls where I get people to speak and you hear from other people on the team. Whereas like our Wednesday calls or our Saturday calls are, just us talking. But this past week, so now that I'm like feeling settled, I finally like really was able to, not that I wasn't digging into my business, but even more so dig back into my business and my personal goals for this business, and looking at the goals that my coaches had given me like 3 months ago. So 3 months, I guess it was about 3 months ago, it was last quarter, we had a big, push to diamond, like a diamond bet group. And we had like 7 new diamonds come out of that. And that was awesome. And we all came out of it like super, super excited. Now we're 3 months later and I'm like, okay, so where are we now? Right. And for me and the type of person I am, I'm really driven by groups like the diamond bet, or things where you give me a goal and I will like push and like hit that goal. But then once you hit it, what happens, right? Most people then you either feel burnout, or you slow down, or you yourself don't even really know like what that next goal looks like. So when you come into this business, whether you are on my team or on one of my coaches' teams, you hear that here are your first 3-month goals. If you want to build a business, we're going to hit Emerald in 30 days and Diamond in 90 days, right? So it's like very clear-cut goals. Hopefully in those 90 days, like right now we're in the middle of another Diamond bet, you're able to go through that new coach training to help you get to Emerald, and then go through a Diamond bet type push group to help you get to Diamond. Now, 2 things can happen in these first 3 months. One, you're like rocking Success Club, you hit all those goals, right? And so you're like, yes, like I can do this. Or 2, you miss Success Club and you miss Emerald and you miss your Diamond goal. And both of those coaches can actually end up feeling the exact same way. So that coach who hits Diamond is now like, well, what do I do now, right? And most of the time, as we've talked about with hitting Diamond and hitting Emerald and hitting these goals, we're building with discount coaches, right? Because we want to hit these goals. We want to say, yes, our business is open. You can see I'm growing. You can see that I'm a team that you want to join. So you hit it, and you hit Diamond, and then your discount coaches start canceling. And instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, I just hit one of the highest ranks in the company super fast, you're freaking out that your business is falling apart. And your focus goes from a growth set mindset to one of scarcity. Where's my next customer going to come from? Where am I going to find my new person, right? Like total mindset shift. And I was talking to a coach today, and after I said these words, I was like, am I getting too like tough on you? And she was like, no, I never feel that way. But that's like always my worry. And I said to her, is it a non-negotiable that you hit Diamond on Thursday? And she was like, well, yeah. And I was like, but if you say, well, yeah, that's not a non-negotiable, right? So I was like, is it a non-negotiable? And she's like, well, the thing about saying things are non-negotiable is that I've said it before and then like nothing happens, or like my team falls apart, or I don't hit Success Club. So like, why would I say that now? You guys, any goal that you set, you have control over. So the easiest thing to do in this business, whether you're that coach who hit diamond really quickly and is now freaking out, like, well, like, what do I do? How do I keep this business going? Or you're that coach who is like, gosh, I can't hit Success Club. Like, what is going on? Why does my business feel so slow? The worst thing you can do for your business is say, well, nothing's in my control. I mean, I added 10 people to my network today and I messaged 3 people and, you know, this just isn't going to work for me. Like, that is the worst thing you can do. Taking a passive stance on your business is a surefire way to fail. And it is so easy to say, I don't have control. And I've been there, right? And there's every level you're in, you're going to feel like you don't have control and it's going to be over something different. So I'll tell you that right now. Like, in the beginning, it's like, how do I find customers, right? I can't control who purchases things. I can't control if someone, presses buy on my share cart. I can't control if they answer my messages. And then when you get to diamond and you're trying to get to star diamond, and you're like, I can't control my coaches. I can't control them. I can't make them hit diamond. You're trying to get to elite. I can't make my 5 coaches hit elite, right? I can't make my coaches hit Success Club. And the thing is, it is not about you making anyone else do something. It is about you continuing to believe in the whole reason you started this business and leading from the front. So anytime you start getting those doubts, your team's going to start feeling them. Your customers are going to start feeling them. You have to believe 100%. So why are you doing this? Like, why? And if your why is not big enough, then you're probably going to quit as well. Like, because it is hard, because it is frustrating, because there are times it feels out of your control and you just want to give up. And so for me, I was very, very depressed. And so this saved me. It gave me that thing to hold on to. But that's evolved, right? That feels a very long time ago to me, right? That has evolved. And then it became, I need to stay home with Sam. And then it became, I want David to stay home. And now it has evolved into, financially, I feel pressure to support my family, but then I need to pass this on to other people. Oh, sorry, Jen. Is my audio choppy for you guys? No? Okay. Thank you guys. So that is my new goal. And if you guys, so we talk about vision boards, right? And seeing those goals in front of you. But I think just as important is seeing your why in front of you. So as part of my vision board, I want at least 5 elite coaches and 5 premier coaches. And I literally have the faces of the leaders of this team who I want those leaders to be, right? And they are leaders that I feel I have promised this can work. And now every morning when I wake up, I need to figure out how to help them make this work. And that is my big why that keeps me going every day. It's what pushes me. So if you don't know why you're doing this, it's not going to be enough to keep going. It sounds very doom and gloom. But the thing is, I think I get frustrated when people say, I don't have control, because this is your business. And so here's what I want you to know you do have control of, right? You do have control of your why. You do have control of how much time you spend on this business. I know people are like, no, I'm busy. And it's so funny because I've been in this business through a lot of different phases. So through the corporate job where I was traveling all the time, and, people are like, oh, well, it's just a job. You don't have kids. Wait till you have kids. You're nothing, once you have kids, you're not gonna be able to do it. And then I went through the newborn phase. Oh, well, newborn phase is easy. They just sleep all the time. Wait till you have a toddler, right? Oh, well, toddler's easy. Wait until, it's school and sports. And I'm like, it doesn't matter, because we're all busy. We're all busy, guys. We are. And so if this is important to you, you will carve out time to make it happen. We have not had a TV in our house for the last 3 years. I don't watch TV. And I'm not saying that has to be everyone, right? It doesn't have to be everyone. And we all have different like home circumstances. But literally, I stopped watching TV when I started this business. That was the first thing that I gave up because I was working all day. So I really couldn't work the business during the day. I only had my night. And then when I had Sam, I had night. Now I have night. I have nap time hustle. So that is one of those times I've carved out. I was just listening to a motivational video on YouTube. And the first thing the guy said was, you don't sleep when you're tired, you sleep when you're done. And I was like, yes, we're all tired. We're all tired, right? Everyone's tired. Everyone wants to go to bed early. Who doesn't? But it doesn't, if you decide to go to sleep versus like sending out 10 more messages, that's fine. But you have to realize that those are the actions you're taking and that those are going to affect your outcome. And so I never want to tell anyone you have to be like as intense as I am. You have to work as much as I am because you don't. But your goals need to align with the amount of time you can put in the business. And I think as a coach and as any of the other like Star Diamond coaches on this team, the only thing that we ask is that those goals are like clearly communicated to us. So, you know, if you're on this call and you're like, oh my God, like Holly, you're insane. Like, please know that when I do my sneak peeks, when I go online and do my posts, and I promise people you can earn 6 figures in this business, I want to keep that promise. I'm not trying to trick people into coaching, right? None of us are, but it takes work. And so I also want my coaches to know that. And if you're like, listen, this is the amount of time that I have to put into this, I am okay with that, but it means I'm not going to get to, 6 figures in the next 1 to 2 years. It means I'm going to grow more slowly. And that is fine. My goals for you and your goals for you should align so that I or whoever your coach is can support you in the right way possible. But to do that, you need to know what your goals are. So at the end of this call or tomorrow, whenever it is, sit down and think about your goals, right? When you started, most of you said, hey, I want Emerald in 30 days, Diamond in 90 days. Okay, so reassess. Are those still your goals? Based on what you're doing, do you need to take more action to make that happen? And does that fit in your life? Then, if you've been doing this for a while, think about the 12-week year. So if you haven't read the 12-week year, read it or listen to it on Audible. But it talks about literally breaking down your year into 12-week sections. And it's not even breaking down your year because 1 year becomes 12 weeks. Okay, so for me, I plan all my goals based on quarters. So right now I am back in like a big push. Each quarter, I have to make sure that our team qualifies as a superstar diamond team. So that's Top Rank and Beachbody. We have to qualify for that every single quarter. So that has been my big push recently. And I know that based on my quarterly schedule of goals. So plan out those 12 weeks and then make sure that those coincide with that final end year goal, elite, premier, 1-star diamond, whatever it may be. But when you're setting these goals, also start thinking about the action it's going to take. So what do you need to do to get there? So write down your why, write down your goals, and then start tracking. So you can't really know, okay, how do I meet these goals if you're not tracking what you're already doing? So I set my goals for the simplest things from success. I start with Success Club. I start with coach recruiting. Then my goal is number of coaches that I'm helping get to Success Club. And then my goal is like rank. And I don't even worry about like our team's rank in the company anymore because if I focus on those things, like that will come. And that is out of my control, right? Other coaches and what they're doing is out of my control, but how my coaches have seen success isn't. So, but to do that, I have to be tracking. So tonight, I just tracked how many PS coaches last month hit Success Club for me. And You guys, we had 30 of my personally sponsored coaches hit Success Club. That's not even like our whole downline. It's insane. It's amazing. So now that's my new benchmark for next month. I want more than 30 coaches to hit Success Club. But if you don't track, if you don't know how many Success Club points you're getting, and guys, break down your goals, that monthly goal, into weeks, especially for Success Club. Because if you are looking to hit Success Club 50, then you need to be, getting 15 points a week, say, right? And so, all right, I wanted 15 points this week. I didn't get it. How many people did I message? How many people did I start conversations with? How many people did I follow up with? What did that result in? Okay, so it resulted in 6 points. So I need to double what I just did last week. And of course, it doesn't always work perfectly. There are months that you can send double and you get the same results. There are months that are harder, and there are months that are going to be super easy. Most of the months that are going to be super easy are because 1, 2, 3 months ago, you had a huge push and you have a huge follow-up list, and those people have been watching you. And it is a snowball effect. So in the beginning, you don't have as many people to follow up with, but you have a ton of people to start conversations with and to start inviting, and that all snowballs. So start tracking. How many people are you talking to? How many people are you inviting? How many people, again, your follow-ups. And then also, if you want coaches, you have to be talking about the business. So that was my big mistake in the beginning and something I didn't track. How many times are you guys inviting publicly on social media to both the challenge groups and coaching opportunity? I mean, I think that's the biggest fear in the beginning, right? Is inviting to coaching. I think once you invite to a challenge group one time, you're like, okay, this is easier. But then coaching is the scary part. And then how many, if you guys, I read the book, Jab, Jab, Right Hook. It's a little old now, but it's still very relevant. So you do like your little jabs. Like I have one I'm going to write tomorrow, just me and Sam at the library, like library time and being able to be that stay-at-home, work-at-home mom. And so it's a little jab. It's not necessarily like an invite, but it's triggering in someone's mind, she's at home, right? That's the life that I want. So jab, jab, and then your right hook is going to be your invite. So how many times are you doing like that kind of coaching post, maybe without an invite, talking about coach life, talking about the challenge groups, talking about the community? And if you don't know how to talk about those things, start thinking about, once again, why did you start Beachbody? Okay, so why did you join a challenge group or a fitness program thing? Like, why did you even start that side of it? What did you want to get out of it, and what did you get out of it? And then coaching, why did you sign up to coach? Why? Start talking about that. What does coaching give you? Does it give you, there's so many different things. Like for me, it's, it's a community. Like it's so much more than the financial. As new coaches, I got caught up in my own mind thinking, I don't have the financial success. No one cares. No one cares, right? But if you, just like we talk about being that product of the product in our health and fitness journey, start being that product of the product in the coaching journey. So show them where you start. Don't be ashamed of where you're starting. It's amazing. You literally just started your own business. Most people aren't brave enough to do that. You started your own business. Where do you want to go? Tell them. Let them see the journey. When I started, my whole journey was leaving my full-time job. That was really scary to say, but I let people follow my journey for that whole year. And then I did it, and they were watching and they saw it happen. My next thing was retiring David. I talked about that for 2 years. 2 years. It doesn't matter how long you talk about it. Take them on that journey. They want to, exactly, Melissa, they want to celebrate the successes with you. So don't overthink it. Oh, okay, guys. So sorry. I hope this isn't like, you feel like I'm a crazy person. I'm just like so fired up after my one-on-one calls today because you guys have everything it takes to be like a top coach. And the big things that I want you to focus on coming out of this call are sit down, set your goals, write out your why, and then really do think about what non-negotiable means to you. what does non-negotiable really mean? So literally when I was asking that coach, like, is it really a non-negotiable? You know, because a non-negotiable is like, if I don't do this, like, I don't know, someone's going to come like take Sam away or something. I mean, it just like, to me, it is making a promise to myself that I'm not going to break, because what happens when you start breaking non-negotiables to yourself is they mean nothing. They mean nothing. So I was in a Diamondback group when I was shooting for Diamond and I didn't hit it. And I went in a second Diamondback group and I was about to not hit it again. Because nothing happened when I didn't hit it, right? You miss Success Club, nothing happens. You miss Emerald, nothing happens. You miss Diamond, like nothing happens. No, that's right. Nothing happens. Like nothing. Like your business goes nowhere. Like nothing happens. You're in exactly the same spot you were. And so I missed that Diamond goal and I was like, oh, it's fine. Like I'll just hit it later. And I had another coach totally call me out. And I was in, because we always are freaking traveling, I was driving cross country in a hotel room, sketchy, gross hotel room, because we had our 2 dogs, with our 2 dogs, sitting on my laptop working. And she was like, that's freaking ridiculous. You're not going to hit diamonds. And I was like, what? And she's like very blunt. And so I was kind of like, and she was like, why? Like, why? What is your big excuse you're not going to hit diamonds? She's like, I know you're traveling, but like, okay. So like, why aren't you going to do it? Like, just build your husband to Emerald. Like, and that was one of the big things. I was like, oh, it doesn't like count. She was like, this is ridiculous. Now you are making the decision not to hit diamonds. You're like, oh, I'm not going to build my husband. Oh, I'm not going to call up that like random like aunt or cousin and be like, listen, can you help me just hit this one big business goal? Like, just help me out. Like, she was like, you being scared, you're making a decision not to hit a goal. And in that moment, I decided this really was a non-negotiable. And I think for me, it's much easier to let myself down than to let someone else down, right? So when I felt like no one was watching, when I didn't, hit these goals and no one's watching, no one cares, it was fine. But when I felt like, okay, I'm really going to let someone else down, it wasn't. And so I started connecting all my non-negotiables to my family. So if I don't hit this Success Club number, I'm letting my family down. I'm not bringing my family income. I'm letting myself down because I'm not living up to my potential. I'm letting my coach down who has put time and training into me. And I connected a lot more with non-negotiable than just non-negotiable, the buzzword. And again, when you don't hit a non-negotiable, it just means it's like nothing happens. And you are at that point wasting your time. And that was the next thing. When I had Sam, I didn't have time to waste. We don't have time to waste, right? So, okay, I'm doing my couple posts a day. I'll send a couple messages, but still not hitting Success Club, still not hitting Diamond. So I'm not making the most of my income potential. Well, then all that time you're spending doing those activities, it's not really counting. I mean, it is, but that snowball is going to grow so slowly. That compound effect is going to take so long. You're not going to reach those income goals that you want to reach soon enough, and you're more than likely going to quit. So remember that by just doing the bare minimum, not hitting those non-negotiables, it's not just you're laying down, it's all those people and your why as well. And then excuses. And then we're going to make this really positive. And I really hope that you guys know that like everything I'm saying is because I feel this pressure and this weight of helping you guys be successful. Because at this point, like, what else matters? Like in my business, right? Like nothing else really matters. It's funny getting that like top 10 team. And I was like, this is amazing. And then it was like, this stuff doesn't like the France trip. Great. It's fun. Literally the entire time, all we did was talk about our teams and how to better them. And I was like, yes, this is what matters. And the like more amazing thing than being like a top 10 coach would be to have one of my coaches be a top 10 coach, because that is how I know I've succeeded in like passing on what I've learned in this business. So, all right, excuses. So we kind of talked about the busy one, right? I'm busy. And I know there's only so much sleep you can't get. So I will tell you guys, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday through Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, those are the nights that I'm like up and hustling. Friday, I am exhausted. Like, I get it. We have to sleep. Like, we have to sleep. We have to rest. I, though, try to do it with what works with my business, right? I sound like a crazy person, but I'm just like totally letting you guys know the truth. So Friday is like, oh, I can breathe day. So I work a little in the morning and then I take off. And Fridays are kind of my Sam days and my days with David and go to bed early. Saturdays as well. Saturdays mostly answering coaches. And then Sunday I'm back to hustling that late Sunday afternoon into night because I know that's when my business needs me. I'll also say, talking to other top coaches, like I was talking to Melanie Mitro and talking to Bonnie Engel, and they were like, oh yeah, the first 3 years of like my business, this is what I focused on. Like, I gave everything so that I could have the rest of my life how I want to live it. So while people tell me all the time, like, you don't have balance, and maybe I don't, maybe I am like a little obsessed, but I do get good, when does Sam wake up? Like 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Like that time uninterrupted with Sam. And then I do nap time hustle, work in afternoon, do dinner with Sam, and then after bed. So really I'm only missing 3 to 4 hours of his afternoon, which I'm pretty darn happy with. I feel like that's the best my balance is going to get. But you have to think too, what am I willing to give up now to get the life that I want later? And that is what I've always worked for. And that is why like TV is so, it's not silly, because for some people it's a really good way to relax, right? That is your way to like decompress. And we all need that. For me, it's not. I like it really, we tried to watch Orange is the New Black the other night and I like got really antsy. And I was like, I need to like do something. Like, I can't do this. So for me, that's not my way to decompress. Going to like the beach or sitting by a pool, that's my decompression. So find that. But know that we all have pockets in our day that we could be using the time better. Personal development. I play it whenever there's like a quiet moment that Sam's like not screaming, I can actually focus on it. So most of the times it's like 5 minutes and I turn it off because he screams. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. But it's huge. Shower, putting on makeup. I don't ever do that. But if I do put on makeup and do my hair, sure, we'll do it then. Like, anytime we're in the car, David and I started putting on personal development, even if we're just driving to the grocery store for 5 minutes. So always, always, always on. And personal development, again, is going to get you through this business. So I think for me, I mean, busy is the biggest excuse I get. The other big one is I don't have anyone to talk to. Like, I've run out of people to talk to. And you guys, there's so many people. So I started my business on Facebook, personal page, no like page. I started with 400 friends on Facebook. Every single day, I added 25 to 30 people. Okay. Start adding people on your personal Facebook page. Get out of your head. Oh, I don't want to send friend requests. Okay. Well, then you don't want to do this business. Like, again, like what you don't want to do and what you need to do. Right. And yes, it needs to feel right. But here's the thing. Sending a friend request and then just being like, hey, buy Shakeology from me. Those are two different things, right? So on Facebook, I send friend requests. If they accept, I then think, like, I'm like, hey, oh my gosh, like I saw we had XYZ friends in common. Like, I went to UVA. How did we not run into each other there? I truthfully try to start a conversation. I don't want them to just think I'm selling them something, right? Because they're already going to see my profile. They already know what I do. So let's just start a conversation. Let me give them time to watch me for a little bit. And then if they're interested, come to me. But by adding those people to my network, starting those conversations, I'm starting to grow that network. I'm going to have people to invite that I'm genuinely starting relationships with. Instagram, it's insane because people want to be found there. So Facebook, well, I have to friend request, and then message. Instagram, I go to a hashtag. I'm like, oh, you look like my avatar. You look like my avatar. You look like my avatar. I just follow them, give them a chance to follow me back, and then I just send them a message. So again, I don't love like, thanks for the follow back or whatever. I like to just more so like connect with them on why I started following them, right? What was it in that hashtag? Like, oh my gosh, like I'm a boy mom as well. Or not even sending a private message at first because people get a little like, what is this? Commenting on their photos. I have had great conversations by commenting on photos. Like, he reminds me so much of my Sam, like, isn't being a boy mom the best, right? People love for you to comment on their photos. They love to comment back. They love when people tell them their kids are cute, right? They love when people tell them your vacation is beautiful. Where were you? Like all of those things. And they start conversations and at least they open the door. But Instagram, people's profiles are open. They want you to like their photos. It is a totally different world, and there are millions of people out there. Yes, it takes time because you've got to find the hashtags. You've got to find the people. You've got to be willing to go in and comment and like and engage and follow people, but it's worth it. And again, this is all part of the compound effect, right? Because in the beginning, you're just starting. And so it's like, okay, who do I have to message? But as you do this every single day and as you continue to grow those relationships on social media, it's going to be easier because you have relationships. You've been having genuine conversations. It's not weird to send an invite and be like, oh my gosh, like starting my postpartum, like fitness journey, like you obviously know, like I run these fitness groups. Would you ever want more info on them? Like it doesn't have to be this big sketchy thing, especially when you've been having conversations with them. So just think about it in that way. When you take away and again, this is coming from our own fears and insecurities, everyone's gonna think I'm a salesperson mentality, and flip it to I'm genuinely trying to build relationships so that I can either help them on their health and fitness journey or literally give them a business opportunity that can change their life forever. Like that's crazy, the opportunity that we have in front of us. And it's also crazy when people are like, oh, you work all the time, Holly. And then I'm like, well, I actually don't really go to work until like 1 in the afternoon. Like if this was a full-time job, like, well, no, I actually work out with my kid in the morning. I don't go to work until 1 p.m. And then, oh yeah, at 5, I start cooking dinner with my kid. And then I go back to work from like, 7 to 10 or 11 at night. Like what? Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So we have an opportunity, even when we're looking to put in crazy hours and build to top 10, that can just change people's lives. And you know what? Some people, they don't need to earn that 6-7 figure income. Their big goals are, I'll earn $100 a month because I need to pay for my kids' swim lessons. $100, $200, $300 a month, that can change someone's life. And I have to remind myself of that because my goals are always like so big. They've always been so big for me and they're always so big for my coaches. And sometimes I get messages from coaches. I don't know if Amy's on here, but Amy sent me a message crying her first month because of her income and what it changed for them. And I was like, oh my God. And David, again, this is like one of those moments I won't forget. We're like in bed in France and I'm like working. And he was like, I never get messages like that. Like, he's like, you get people calling you crying because you changed their life. Like, do you realize what you do every day? And we all do the same thing. You guys, we can change people's lives. Hi, Amy. Yeah, Amy, that call still is like one of my favorite. But we can change people's lives. And Amy has invited fearlessly from the beginning. And I think it's because of her belief in this business opportunity and how it did change her life. And so one of the things to really think about, again, it's going back to your why and then going back to your belief. And I struggle with personal development because I need books that like super push me. And I guess it depends where you are in your life, right? So I just took out like You Are a Badass Again. That's the one like I've been like putting photos of, which I've been getting so many questions about on like my Insta stories. And I just have like things that are underlined in here that I'm like, yes, like our entire experience on this planet is just determined by how we choose to perceive our reality. So what is our reality? Is our reality that our business is like falling apart and maybe we have some discount coaches canceling, or I'll never get anyone to join a challenge group? Or is our reality that we have an opportunity that not only can change our life, but it can change other people's lives? Is our reality that we just started a 7-figure business? Is our reality that in 3.5 years, you're going to be sitting where I am making $500,000 a year? Is that your reality, or is your reality that your business is struggling? You choose. You choose, because we all have the exact same opportunity in front of us, and we all have that exact same opportunity to offer to other people. So I am going to stop talking. But I would love, again, this was more just it's the beginning of the month. Let's just make, and I always feel like the beginning of the month, like there's huge things that can happen this month. Huge. And today, sitting there talking to coaches, being like, yes, like, I don't know if Lee's on the call, but I was talking to Lee about Diamond, and I was like, all right, so you need 2 coaches. This is going to happen by Thursday. And she's like, well, and I was like, no, like it's going to happen. And we literally sat there, we looked at downline, we looked at inactive. We're like, oh, this person's inactive. I was like, well, who do you know? I was like, who of these inactive coaches do you know? And I had the same question with Lainey. I was like, these coaches are inactive. Who do you know? They both were like, oh, XYZ. And I was like, great, call them, tell them, all right, I'm trying to hit a huge goal. I need your help. Like, are you willing to help me? It does not have to be hard, guys. Think how, like, people want to help you. Your friends and family want to help you. You're starting a business, a huge business. Switch your mindset from thinking that you're selling or that you're begging people, and let them know that they are helping you build $1 million business. Because it's true. So yeah, Jen, you are a badass. Seriously, it is one of my all-time favorites. And then I know you guys hear me talk about my Audible books all the time, but I'm just obsessed with Grant Cardone just because he's kind of like very tough love. So Be Obsessed or Be Average and 10X Rule both kick my butt. So I'm literally listening to Be Obsessed or Be Average again, like for the 10th time. And then in the morning I get up and read just like, I don't know, a chapter from You Are a Badass. Again, I've read it a million times. It doesn't matter. I love it. So Amy, exactly. Amy, my grandfather helps me hit Diamond. Oh, Catalina, come eat at my restaurant. It's awesome. I have not heard of that one. Nice. Let me unmute you, Catalina. What kind of PD book is that?
Oh. When family come, it's like you'd invite family to come to your restaurant. And I think I've heard you say that, or somebody else, kind of like people would come and help you if you had a restaurant. Well, this is also the same kind of thing. It's a business, and it's like people come and help you and try it out. And the thing is, like, we have an amazing product that has insane value, and that's how we need to start the conversations with people. And that's really changed my perspective over the last week. I don't know if it was in one of the trainings that it really changed my mind from I'm making you buy something really expensive to no, I'm just offering you a bargain for something that's of incredible value, and I'm lucky you that I'm offering it to you, and it can change your life like it changed mine.
Yeah. I love that. It's so true. It's so true. All right, guys, if anyone is like not afraid to talk, like doesn't hate me after that call.
Holly, I have a question.
Yes.
So as I'm like trying to build my Instagram account and my followers, I'm like having a hard time finding the best system for tracking, like the comments, the conversations, the usernames. What is everybody using? I'm pen and paper right now because I was so overwhelmed trying to like get it in a spreadsheet. So what's everybody else doing?
Instagram's a nightmare. I mean, truthfully, like a nightmare for tracking. Like Facebook was so much easier because I just wrote down their name, because I'm pen and paper too. So it's like write down their name and the date I contacted them. Mm-hmm. So Instagram, I actually went like to a Google sheet for a little bit, just because it was easier for me to like copy and paste screen names. Like I would do it on my phone, like copy and paste a screen name into a Google Doc. The other thing, this sounds really weird, but it's been working for me because David's helping me. I use the Reminders app. Okay, so if you have an iPhone, the Reminders app, because again, it sounds very, very weird, but where is it? Oh, leads. Okay. So I just like literally will copy and paste like their actual Instagram URL into Reminders. And that way I can copy and paste, because Reminders then is also on my iMac. So I can copy and paste it and open up their Instagram profile on the computer and then go through and like and comment on their profile. And then what I do, I'll just put like the date after that. But when you like check them off on Reminders, they disappear. But you can then ask with Reminders, you can do show completed. And so you'll be able to see everyone. So I do that weekly. So I have like I'll do like a big list that I follow. And then I will, once I follow them, and then once I like 2 photos and comment on one, I'll like check them off as done. And then I will 2 days later go back to another big batch, like and comment, click them off as done. But I'll go back to show completed before I click all those people off and go through my previous list and like and comment one more time. So, and then I'll message them. So sorry, this is very confusing about my method, but I follow, like, and comment, leave them alone for 2 days, come back, like and comment, and send a private message about kind of one of their photos or something. And in that time, I've also then done a whole nother batch of like first like and comment. But there's no good way. Does anyone have so Reminders has been my easiest way, because they're there on my phone, they're on my computer. I can click, once I do it, I just check them off and they can re-show up as completed. But it's not as great with like dates or like, okay, these people, like I just add little messages like after their names. I'll put a date and then I'll put like messaged or whatever. Does anyone else have a great Instagram system?
Holly, do you do that with like Captivate too? Like, so you put everybody that you follow through Captivate, you copy their URL?
No. So these people are very targeted. So these are my
these
people.
are the ones that like you go in and go to a hashtag and follow. You'll just like.
Yes. These are the people who I'm like, all right, you are my like next dream coach. I'm going to, these are like my very.
I was about to say,
people.
How do you do that with like 600 people? That would be insane.
Yeah. Okay. No, I do not.
I have no system. I mean, it's so hard, I feel like, with Instagram. So for me, I've just been going through, like, I did my Captivate. I followed like 600 people or whatever. And now I'm going through and like, I go into my follow and I just like go back through and start like sending messages and liking photos and that kind of stuff. And when they message me back, if it seems like something is, you know, like a good conversation is going to go on, I star them and I write their name down, because I'm pen and paper too. Mm-hmm. And so then I can go into my starred ones and be like, oh, like these are conversations that are continuing. And then if I feel like they've gotten to a point where like they're either going to go one way or the other, like I'll keep them starred or I'll unstar them.
Yeah. And I will say, once we get to the point where like we're talking about a program and they're like, yes, send me more info or I want more info on coaching, I move them straight over to email. Mm-hmm. And I use Google Streak. Yeah. And Google Streak is like, it saves me. And I am actually getting ready where my assistant is, because I just drove her crazy today. She was like, what the hell are you doing on Instagram? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, seriously, did you just tell people like that you're going to give them free samples of like Daily Sunshine, and now we have like 1 million people who want it, and I have to get email addresses and I don't know their real names, and like, what are you doing? So we are actually going to, so we know how we like have the forms in Linktree. We're going to create a really simple form that like shows up well on like mobile. So if they're like, oh yeah, I want more info, it's not like me being like, oh, can I have your email? And then like starring them for like my assistant to go in, or me starring them to be like, okay, now I have to go back, because my starred inbox is also crazy and I forget people in there. I just star them and then forget about them. So we haven't created this little form yet, but when we do, I'll send it. But it's literally going to be like name and email. And like, what are you interested in? And then forms go straight to your inbox. And so then if you have an assistant or whatever, for me, like inbox, things don't get lost as much. Like even if it takes me longer to get to them, they're all still there. So it'll be like, awesome, like super excited, complete this little form and I'll get you all the info. So we're just going to have like a little link that pops up because email streak really, really is amazing. So, oh, Amy, the Operation Domination group. Yeah, so that it's not even only for my PS coaches, it's only for PS Diamonds. We're not even really supposed to be like in that group. I like snuck us in that group. So that is why everyone's not in there. But this Operation Domination group, guys, it is with Ashley Molstad, Emily Favre, Lindsay Matway, and Bonnie Engel. So what I'm going to try to do, some of the videos are like, awesome. Bonnie did a really great one yesterday. I haven't even finished watching it. But you can't download like other people's videos, but I'm going to find a way to download them and get them all for you guys because there's some great trainings in there. So
Emily did a great call today.
I missed the first half and I was very unimpressed by the last half.
Yeah.
Was it better the first half?
It was kind of like all over the place, but she had some really good like nuggets.
Okay. So it's worth downloading because I was going to skip it. I should probably watch the whole thing before I say that.
I think the thing that I think what registered with me was she was at New Leadership Conference with me in February. And she was a 1-star diamond. And she's got 21 freaking diamonds underneath her now.
Yeah. From
February until now. And so I think that was like hearing that and just like listening to her story was amazing. And knowing like she's been in the business longer than I have. Yeah. And like this is finally happening for her. And like, so that was really, really good for me, I think, to hear. But also just kind of how she talked about, like one of the things she talked about in there was just kind of like what you said with your vision board and, you know, really kind of 10Xing things. You know, her thing was like, okay, here I am. I'm 4 years into the business and I'm not freaking an elite coach yet. What do I need to do? And her thing was like, okay, well, I am messaging people, but am I messaging a lot of people? Nope, I'm not messaging enough. You know, my goal is to hit 5-star elite. Well, like, why? Why should I hit 5-star elite? Let me hit 10. You know, at that point, like she was hitting, you know, really high Success Club numbers. And so she said to herself, like, okay, my goal is going to be 100 a month. And Ashley called her out and was like, why only 100? Like, you know, you can hit 100. That's comfortable for you. Like, so it was all about just getting uncomfortable and realizing like, okay, what can I do? And like, I even told Tom when he got home from work, I was like, I need to sit down and like, look at what I'm doing and figure out what I can do better. And what I can do more. And so I think it was just like that. It was a different way to hear it. And she is kind of like, I mean, she's kind of all over the place. She bounces. And I feel like that's like, if you watch any of her Insta stories, like, I feel like that's just who she is.
Just who she is.
Very like, kind of all over the place. But it was just really good to like hear her story and how, you know, she put things out there. And like you said, and she actually talked about that in her call today, was like, go on that journey with the people in your social media. And so one of the things she did was she posted her dream board, and on her dream board it said to buy her husband a Tesla. And she wasn't even like making barely enough to pay their like car payment of like the one car that they had or whatever. And she just got to share that she bought a Tesla for her husband. And it's not even the end of the year yet. And so she was like talking about that same thing, like go on that journey with people. And don't be afraid to share that beginning piece. Like when you're only making $100 a month, $250 a month, whatever, share that with people so that you can go on that journey and they can see it. Like evolve. So it was, I mean, it was really good.
I like it. I agree with all of that.
But it was just kind of bouncy. You just kind of had to go with it. I think it was 35 minutes or something. That wasn't too terrible.
Christine, it is a group that the diamond coaches on this team are in right now. So that's what it is. But I'm gonna download some of these videos as the group goes on so that everyone on this team has access, the whole downline. So yes, Amy. So you guys, any trainings that I do, and I try to get you in like as many trainings like as I can. So those that I can't, I will definitely download for you guys to watch the videos because they are helpful. So Any other questions, comments, anything? Tomorrow is Wednesday, so we will have at noon the Push to Diamond call. So it's kind of perfect timing for those of you pushing to Diamond. And then Saturday, we'll just have our normal Saturday morning coffee chat as well. But this is open, you guys. There's no like question that's like too basic or anything either. I don't ever want anyone. So Jen, the Push to Diamond group, it's closed now because it's a Diamond Bet group, meaning that like people had to pay to get into that group. And so those pots are closed like for legal reasons. I do not touch the money, other coaches do. But I can also try to get some of those videos out of there as well.
I have a question, Holly.
Yes.
So I hear you talking about like your calls with just different coaches. Are those one-on-ones?
Yes. So those calls are like today, my one-on-one calls were those coaches like pushing for Diamond by Thursday. So they're normally like, they normally come from like push groups or things like that. Like if you have a big push goal. But Jenny, if you want to get on a call, like you're in the Diamond group, you're close to Diamond, like we can get on a call. You're super close. So
yeah. Oh my gosh, I need a kick in the pants. I'm like,
yeah. Jenny, just message me after this. Like that's what those, like the one-on-one calls are for. It's like, okay, listen, I've got a huge goal. I've put in the work. Like that's really the big thing is like, if you've proven like you hit Success Club month after month, you are so close to Diamond, you've put in the work. Now let's just do that little tiny mindset tweak that gets you to Diamond.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, let's get on a call.
Perfect. Okay, I'll message you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I felt like to become Diamond, I got to the point where I'm like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I like message, like I got my husband to Emerald, but then I like messaged like 3 or 4 people and I'm like, can I get 2 people under you? And it's like, and it ended up being my sister-in-law. And it's like, do whatever it takes. But now my next thing is, being 1-star and building my husband to Diamond. Mm-hmm. But from there, where will I go? Because like, I'm going to need to have because I've been inviting to coaching, but in order for me to become 2-star, I'm going to have somebody that wants to do it. Because I can't keep just building.
No. You cannot keep building. So the whole point in hitting Diamond and then building to 1-star is it's continuing that journey and showing people like, okay, I'm building a legitimate business, right? And so like Melissa on this call, she went 1-star and then 2-star like a month later. When she went 1-star, like pushing for her husband, there was no other like, who's that second Diamond going to be? Like it did not exist. She hit 1-star. Her coach contacted her and was like, okay, I just watched Holly do it. Now I watched you do it. Like I'm ready. And she went Diamond in a month.
Literally gave me goosebumps. Because like, I feel like what I really want to do is like help somebody be successful, and like you're saying, be more successful than me. That's what I really want, and I just can't wait to see that person that gets fired up like I was by my coach. And okay, well that gives me hope, Melissa.
Yeah, and it is just having, again, it's having that faith that those people are watching you. And Kathleen, your growth has been so fast. Like you have had insane success like very quickly because you've put in the work, because you've made this non-negotiables, just like you said. But it also means it's given people less time to watch you on this journey, right? So know that every day you're showing up, every day you are showing your success. And also talk about the fact that you've had fast success. Talk about the fact that you're going to train your new coaches to do that. The way you saw success, I want to help people do that, right? That's huge. So be proud of the success that you've seen. Be proud of the short timeline that you did it in, and tell people about the trainings you have, the mentorship you have, and how you can help them repeat your actions. So yeah, good guys. I am glad that this was helpful for sure. anything else? Is it 9? I know you guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is. I know we've all got kids. Thank you guys. I know an hour is long, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I almost want to do team calls weekly again, just because it's so nice to get on and like talk to you guys and get to see you. I know we do like the Wednesday and Saturday calls, but those are always like smaller groups. And sometimes I just like to get on and be like, oh, you guys can do anything you want to do. Just do it. Because I believe in you guys so, so, so much. Oh, good. Okay. All right. Lainey, never enough calls, Christine. Okay, good. I'm glad that they fire you up like every day. I didn't even drink Energize before this call, guys, like, which is like crazy because David was like, you've got to go. I did take a 15-minute nap after dinner. See, I do sleep. I took a 15-minute power nap. But I literally just get so fired up about this business because there is so much potential and so much possibility. And also like talking, so just so you guys know, a lot of the calls that I do are also with like other top coaches, or like I did a one-on-one with like Kate Morgan, who she's like 4-star in 6 months or whatever. I am always looking for new ways to expand our business and new ways to tell you guys about the business. It's why I try to get you in groups with other coaches. So, you know, I am always trying to learn, always trying to get new ideas and trying to grow my business as well. I mean, I was all Facebook Live page and that has declined so much. And so now I'm growing my Instagram right beside you guys. Like I am hustling with you. So anything I learn, I am going to be sharing with you. Yes, this should be, yes, it's recording right now. So I will, I'll post this recording, guys. So anyway, so next week we do have a guest speaker. She is someone who went like 0 to 5-star in like her first year, which is just craziness. So she is going to talk about that. It's probably going to be a lot of this. Like she literally just like, she needed to leave a job and be home with her kids. And so that's kind of her story, but she's going to talk about how she did it. So I will post about that call next week as well. So, all right, guys. Yay. Have a good night. And I'll talk to you, those of you pushing to Diamond on Wednesday. And if not, hopefully Saturday morning, some of you for the coffee chat. Bye, guys.